Moin, willkommen zurück bei Everlasting Summer. Ach nee, ich sag ja mal Everlasting Summer. Ja, wir wollten, meine ich, mit zwei Mädels zum Strand gehen, ne? Ja, na gucken wir mal. Finishing my breakfast, I left the building and sat on the stairs. Pioneers, all having their own business, hurried past me, one by one. No one stopped me. No one ever looked in my direction. I was so alone. Yeah. It seemed they didn't consider me a stranger, but exactly the opposite. Just another teenager their age, their comrade, you could say. I caught myself thinking that I had started to consider the scam and its inhabitants with not as much caution as I had on the other day. Indeed, Alyssa was back in a couple of minutes. Ready? Ready for what? She gave me the trunks. Er darf natürlich die Koffer steppen. Bitte. Natürlich. Though you hardly could call them trunks. Ach, sorry, trunks. Die Schwimmhosen. Nicht Koffer. Obwohl es auch Sinn ergeben hätte, nicht? Okay. They looked like pink boxers decorated with butterflies and flowers. Wo hat sie die her, Gottverdammt? Actually, they were boxers. Immer noch die Frage, wo sind sie her? I'm almost afraid to ask, but where did you get these? Gut, Semyon ist mit mir einer Meinung. Too scared to put them on? Well, you know, I have not the slightest intention of doing so. I appreciated the joke, but wasn't going to make myself a laughing stock. Put them on! Right now, she said roughly. Why didn't you try them on instead of me? I think that the color of the swimsuit would set off your eyes very nicely. Let's make a bet. Oh, sie will immer nur wetten, ne? Du hast ein Problem, Mädchen. I had no desire to accept her bets. No thanks. Alright, you either go to the beach wearing these, or you swim naked. Weighing the pros and cons, even the second option seems better than the first. I'm not planning to go anywhere at all. Then I'll tell everyone that you left these trunks in my cabin. Okay. Why would I do that? How should I know? Was hast du eigentlich vor? She burst into laughter. Oh. I didn't want to argue with Alyssa, so I decided to go to the beach in the end. But not in those flamboyant trunks. Okay, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Don't be late. She ran off after saying that. I dragged my feet to the leader's cabin to get a towel and to hopefully find something like trunks. Olga Dimitrievna was waiting for me in the room. Semyon, did you hear anything about Shurik? Er ist ja verschwunden, ne? Same as half an hour ago. Wir waren ja auch nur essen. Wo sollten wir das gehört haben? I walked to my bed and took a towel. Are you going somewhere? Yes, to the beach. Wait, do you have swimming trunks? You came here without any luggage, as I recall. Which seemed totally not weird. Strange, that fact didn't seem to surprise her during our first encounter. No? So, what will you wear? Good question, what? I don't know. Wait a minute. She walked to the wardrobe and unlocked a drawer. In a moment, she had a pair of normal black trunks. Where did she get those? More importantly, why? Someone from the previous session might have forgotten them. Considering all the strange things in this camp, it wasn't really surprising to find men's swimming trunks in Olga Dimitrievna's room. Thanks. The trunks were just my size. Zufall. I got changed behind the cabin and went to the beach. A lot of pioneers had already gathered there, but I recognized only Alyssa and Ilyana. Come here! I walked over to them and sat on the sand. Woohoo! I see you found something... Ne, Entschuldigung. I see you found something better. Was soll ich dazu sagen, außer, wenn sie sich irgendwie bewegt, hat sie ein Problem. She stared at my trunks and smirked. As you can see... Come on, let's swim! I don't want to. Maybe later. Ja, oh Gott, Samuel, das war schon so anstrengend, sich umzuziehen und so. I was not a fan of swimming. Suit yourself. The girls ran into the water. Why did I come here? Why am I not looking for answers? Ja, why? Why? Verdammt. Should I care about it now? Sovjonok seemed normal. Certainly, a lot of strange things have happened to me during these 3.5 days, but not one of them taken separately seemed at all supernatural. Especially since I didn't get any closer to finding so much as a clue. On the contrary, everything that had happened has only confused me more. What alternatives do I have? I won't get any truths from the local residents. Though I doubt they even know it. Should I try to leave this place? Ja. But how far can I walk, considering that I don't even know where I am? It turned out that my only option is to wait. Ja, also was anderes fällt mir auch absolut nicht ein. Ich weiß nicht, wie es mit euch ist. After some time, the girls came back. Und ihr Haar war nicht nass. Uljana held something in her hands. Look! I looked up and saw a crayfish. Just a normal crayfish. Ja, okay. Der arme Gott. Uljana lay next to me and started to torment it. Leave the poor animal alone. Why? It's just a crayfish. Ist nicht Tiere zu quälen irgendwie das erste Zeichen, dass man ein Psychopath ist und irgendwann tötet man dann Menschen oder so? War es nicht so? So what? It has a right to live too. I rip its claws off and ask the cook to boil it for dinner. Ich bin kein Psychopath, nein, nein. As if we have nothing else to eat. I looked at Alyssa. Beziehungsweise auf ihren Hintern. She seemed to be totally uninterested in Uljana's fun with the poor sea creature. Tell her! What's wrong? It's a crayfish. It deserves it. Ja, oh ja, genau. Das ist absolut verdient. Ich meine, warum ist er auch da? It looked like the girl missed their lesson on nature in primary school and lacked empathy for the environment. Give it. To me. I snatched... Suit yourself! I was a little surprised she didn't resist. I looked into the eyes of the poor animal. They didn't express anything at all, but I thought that if it could speak, it would certainly be outraged. Maybe it would even go to the UN Convention of Human Rights. Or crayfish rights. To tell the truth, I wasn't sure that would help. I took the crayfish to the river and set it free. Ist das wirklich ein Fluss mit diesem Sandstrand? Never mind, I'll catch more. There are plenty of them here. Said Uljana. Vielleicht muss jemand mal sie irgendwie zurechtweisen. Was auch immer. Auf jeden Fall erziehen. Erziehen. So, das ist das, was sie braucht. Erziehung. No doubt about it. I mumbled. Time passed and I was getting sleepy. Das war auch alles so anstrengend. I fell asleep. I don't remember what I was dreaming about, if I was dreaming at all, but I woke up when somebody shook my shoulder. Wie ist das physikalisch überhaupt möglich? Nichts gegen Bikinis, aber das funktioniert einfach nicht. Es tut mir leid. Und wie sie ihren Respekt aufrechterhalten, wenn Okay. Oh god, Dimitrevna stood next to me. Did you come to swim too? I asked, still half asleep. No. Warum bist du dann so angezogen? It's almost time for lunch and we still can't find Shurik. So I took on the sexy swimsuit just to wake you up. Duh. The leader said, standing before me in a wet swimsuit. Hat sie ihn im Fluss gesucht oder was? And I want you to look for him. It seems like I'm the only pioneer in the entire camp. I was sincerely outraged. Every time it was getting clearer that Olga Dimitrevna considered me her errand boy to be used like a slave. Or vice versa. Oh nein, wenn sie auch noch so dasteht. If I came to you, then I want you to help me. Why exactly me? However, after giving it some thought, I decided to agree. After all, my shoulder and back got sunburned where I was sleeping, and searching for Shurik would let me get acquainted with unexplored locations of the camp. Okay. It was not exactly right to wander around wearing only swimsuit trunks, so I should get changed first. 10 minutes later, I stood outside Olga Dimitrevna's cabin, deciding where to go. Da waren wir gerade am Strand. Hä? Warum sollten wir da reingehen? Zum Busstop? Da habe ich schon mal geguckt beim letzten Mal, da war er aber nicht. Gehen wir nochmal zum Wald. It was obvious that Olga Dimitrevna and her pioneers have already searched every nook and cranny of the camp. Roamed the length and breadth of it. So probably it's not worth looking for Shurik in the canteen or on the beach. Or in the cybernetics club. It was his second home. Or maybe even his first. Du kennst ihn kaum, aber ja klar. Geh davon aus, dass er ein Nerd ist ohne andere Hobbys. Thus it might be working look around the surrounding forest. I didn't plan to go far into the forest. Otherwise, it might be me who they'll be searching for tomorrow. I didn't really visit the countryside often. I just stayed in a country house every summer during my childhood. But that one was very close to the city. But in this camp it was possible to find everything I hadn't seen for so long. Overwhelming vegetation, singing birds and fresh air. I found a meadow and sat on a stump. Oh, wie er guckt, wie er sich umschaut. True pioneer. How peaceful this place is. But where in the world is Shurik? Actually, he could have been taken against his will. This camp is far from normal, so pioneer disappearances should not be all that strange. An intriguing possibility. Could it be the work of whichever force sent me here, or is it just some separate local entity's doing? Lost in my own thoughts, I didn't notice how the grass before me started moving. I looked closely and saw a squirrel. It approached me carefully and stared at my hands. Probably used to getting fed here. Sorry, friend, I don't have anything with me. Of course, the squirrel could not understand me and continued to just sit there, waiting for threats. I felt sorry for it, because I didn't have even a crumb of bread in my pocket. Ach man, könnt ihr uns das süße Eichhörnchen nicht zeigen? Mensch. I really realized that I'm even ashamed to look in the eyes and decided to move on. Ihr wisst, was ich meine. After some wandering, I came to the wash stands. Turns out that he's not in the forest either. Oder jedenfalls nicht in der kleinen Lichtung, wo ich geguckt habe. At least not in the surrounding area. And going farther is just frightening. I walked to the wash stands, took off my shirt and tried to wipe myself down, because I was all sweaty. However, it wasn't so easy. I won't be able to get into the wash bowl, and there isn't even a ladle. Suddenly, I heard footsteps from behind. I turned around. Elektronik was walking my direction. Looking for Shurik. Warum glaubt ihr das? Wir stehen hier und waschen uns. Okay, ich trinke erstmal einen Schluck Tee. Moment. Okay. Yes. You too? Me too. Listen, you know him better. Where could he have gone? I don't have a clue, he answered sadly. Well, I just don't understand why everyone has made such a fuss. During the night, wasn't he in the cabin with you? Then he can't have been gone for too long. Maybe he went for a walk? You don't know Shurik, said Elektronik excitedly. He's fanatically dedicated to his work. His life consists of robotics and cybernetics. People like him are 1 in a million, no, in a billion. His talent is boundless. I look up to him. He's a man of steel. Und du hast einen Man-Crush auf ihn. No, simply triumphant. At that moment he looked like Hitler making a speech in front of thousands. Ich kann den Satz nicht mal zu Ende lesen. What the fuck? Warum? Okay, gehen wir weiter. Even his gestures matched. Okay. So what? So what? You don't understand, do you? No. He spends all of it, you see, all of his free time in our club. All. So disappearing just like is unusual for him. Of course. Seems like an electronic countdown. Okay. He looked at me intently. Are you going to wash? Not really. Just rinse off a little, it's hot. Me too. He looked around. I wish there was a bucket or a little something to get more water with. Yeah, I noticed already. Then let's do this. He walked behind a washstand and pulled on one of the taps. To my surprise, its end turned up, and rather than pouring into the wash bowl, the water splashed up at almost 90 degrees. You could manage to wash yourself that way. Okay, also das ist auch alles gerade für mich neu. Und ich... Was, wirklich? Ist das nicht die Schwesternmusik? Und... Ich muss nochmal Tee trinken und drüber nachdenken. Moment. Okay, let's do this. Meanwhile, Elektronik took off his shirt and then spattered, so it seemed, like he pulled down his shorts. Squatted. I couldn't really tell, because the washstand he was behind concealed him up to the waist. He directed the steam towards himself and started to sing something quietly. Ich mache einfach weiter, okay. I stood astonished, not knowing what to do. He seemed to notice it. I'll wash myself and then let you use it. Gosh, I got such a massive chill. Well, you know, I just remembered that I have something to do. Gotta go. Und ich bin gar nicht homophob. All of these eccentricities of Elektronik, the moment I just saw was the weirdest one. Hey, what's up with you? A cold shower on such a hot day is like the best thing ever. No. That won't do. And anyway, I have to go. Hey, what? Entschuldigung, ich hab zurückgescrollt. I put on my shirt quickly and ran back into the forest. Ach komm, so schlimm war's auch nicht. War's so schlimm? I wonder what's got into him. Ja, oh Gott, fürchterlich. Okay. Ich weiß, dass hier nichts passiert. Gucken wir einfach hier. Was soll's. Jetzt sind wir doch an der Hütte. Maybe Shurik decided to pick up some stones near the water. Warum auch immer. In the worst case, I'll find his corpse. But I'm sure that I won't end up that way. I was crossing the square when somebody called out to me. Wait! Alyssa came up and smiled. Die hat da wieder was vor. I immediately sensed a trap. Ja, wir sind auf derselben Seite. Where are you going? I'm searching for Shurik. Olga Dimitrievna asked me to. And how is it? Exciting? Hat sie uns gesehen mit Elektronik oder what? She looked intently into my eyes and I turned away awkwardly. Not really. But you know, a pioneer's missing. Surely you're not freaking out over such a minor thing. What do you mean? Only a few hours have passed. Maybe he just lost track of time while having a walk. Certainly I'd have the same idea, but I wasn't telling her that. Yeah, that's true. But who knows what could have happened? Let me help you with it. With what? I got suspicious. Was looking for Shirley. Oh, but I can do it. Oh, come on. She smiled at me, but there was something malevolent in that smile. Naturally, her smile was cute enough, but it always seemed like there was something behind it. Ich trinke mal die Maus, so. So, frisch gestärkt geht es weiter. Well, if you insist. Since I could not understand what's on her mind, I had no real reason to refuse. But before we go, I have to get one thing from home. Oh Gott, was hat sie nur vor? Sie wird uns im Wald umbringen. Okay, I'll wait for you. You're actually serious about just standing there? Let's go! Oh, sie will uns in ihre Hütte locken. Okay. We approach Alyssa's cabin. Ist das Bacardi? It would be just like any other cabin, if not the cabin, if not for the Jolly Roger on the door. Oh yeah. By the way, Oyana is my roommate. Okay. We entered the cabin. The complete chaos inside really reminded me of my old flat. Though, why I thought of it as old? In general, I would imagine a ghost room differently. Snow white sheets, walls, floors and ceiling shining, spotless. Ja, ich nehme eventuell männlichen Zuschauern, die sich das hier antun, die Illusion. Nein. Nein. Nein, nicht spotless. But when you consider that the two most exemplary pioneers are living here, we just stood silently for some time. And what did you need to get? Huh? Seems like I interrupted Alyssa's thinking. Yeah. It's not here, actually. Wait here, I'll be back in a minute. She smiled and ran out. She seems really flaky today. I began to examine the room. I wouldn't say that there has been an explosion, it was just a decent mess. Well, at least by looking at all this mess created in one pioneer session, I can surely say that I'm not the messiest person in the world. The decoration of my apartment took years to be completed. I wasn't thinking about anything in particular, was just looking around the room. Posters of Soviet artists, some books on the shelves, various household items. Merkst du nicht, dass es eine Falle ist? Du musst abhauen. And then I realized that everything is wrong. Something will happen soon. Something bad. Why did Alyssa leave me here all alone? There was something I had to discover. My gut told me that it's dangerous to stay here. Dramatische Musik. I went to the door and tried to open it. Locked. Überraschung. What a surprise. How did she manage so quietly to lock me in? I don't know what's on her mind, but I need to get out of here. I went to the window, opened it and climbed out. Now I can go and take business, or I choose the second option and wait. What is the reason she had me locked up? I wanted to know what was happening, plus I really wanted to see Alyssa's face when she finds the room empty. I hid in the bushes next to the house and waited. After some time I heard footsteps. Elisa and Olga Dimitrievna came to the house. You see everything for yourself. She opened the door and went in. A few seconds later she ran back out. You know, Alyssa's face looked as if she just won the mouse catching competition, but at the last moment found out that it's not a real Olympic sport. So, he just disappeared? Nee, wie ging denn? So, he just disappeared? Olga Dimitrievna asked skeptically. I did the right thing by closing the window after myself. No. You know, I understand everything. Unaussprechlicher Nachname. You and your roommate, every time the same thing. Haven't you had enough yet? But it's true. Really. One story after another. Semyon in your cabin, Semyon harassing you. Why do you keep lying? That's horrible. Alyssa seemed really upset and, to my surprise, was not trying to argue. On the one hand, it was funny to look at, but on the other, I felt a bit sorry for D. Punkt. She deserves it, though. Oh, furchtbar. Lida finally finished scolding her and left. Alyssa was mad. She clenched her fists and trembled, her face flushed. It seemed to me that she was going to explode. Brother, come out! I sat in the bushes and laughed quietly. However, I was wondering what was in her mind, and I came out of my hiding place, not afraid of being beaten. So, what exactly did you want to show the leader? Me? Alyssa turned and looked at me with disbelief. After a moment, surprise turned to anger. You! What about me? She calmed down a bit. Because you're a loser! And why is that? 'Cause you're afraid to compete with me! When? When we play cards! With a serious reason. Yeah. Maybe I should apologize to you. I asked sarcastically. Warum guckt sie jetzt so traurig? Screw you! Wahrscheinlich zeigt sie so ihre Zuneigung. She went into the house, slamming the door. I wasn't angry at Alyssa. In the end, I'd expected her to do something like this. Anyway, I got through it without consequences. I was very lucky. Her confusion and embarrassment just made my day. Chuckling, I left Alyssa's cabin, which was about to become my death trap. I went for lunch with mixed feelings, with a sense of accomplishment and with realization of time wasted. The canteen was crowded. Und hier machen wir erstmal wieder einen Cut. Ja. Immerhin haben wir mal quasi gewonnen. Wir haben Elektronik halbnackt gesehen. Aber wir wissen immer noch nicht, wo Shurik ist, geschweige denn, wo wir sind. Naja, vielleicht beim nächsten Mal bei Everlasting Summer. Das war's erstmal von eurem Nerdmädchen.